This is a notice is hereby given pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act that the City Council of the City of Nassau Bay, Texas will conduct a regular meeting on Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Location, City Hall Council Chambers, 1800 Space Park Drive, Suite 200, Nassau Bay, Texas. So we've called to order. Let the record reflect that we have all 7 council members, so we're at a full quorum tonight. And I'm going to take a little bit of a deviation from the published agenda. We have something a little bit special for folks. I think you can see in the background, we actually have 2 scout troops with us who are going to present the colors, as well as lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and do the invocation. So we've kind of parted the waters for these kids. Just so you know, there's a very good friend of mine who has been part of, I think, 848 for a while, that had his own Eagle Scout, and he continues. We're the same age, and he continues to participate in the Scouts organization. So I'm really glad you guys are here, and I'm really glad that you participate what you do. And let me give you your honors. So these are the Scouts from Troop 848 and 849 of the Sam Houston Area Council Scouts BSA, Scouting America, are joining the Nassau Bay City Council meeting tonight for the purpose of observing local community government at work and specifically to progress their citizenship in the community and communication merit badges. Scouts BSA is traditional scouting experience where boys and girls ages 11 through 17 can have their share of adventure in the great outdoors while developing character, citizenship, and fitness. Troop 848 for the boys and 849 for the girls are sponsored by Gloria Day Lutheran Church in Nassau Bay and meet at the church every Tuesday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and welcome new members. The troops have been an active part of the community for almost 60 years, with Troop 848 starting service to youth in 1965. They both have strong outdoor adventure programs and are youth-led as exemplified by the organization of this evening's participation by Life Scout Emma Dubchuk and Star Scout Maria Luisa Sergio. So if you would please rise for the presentation of colors and the pledges of allegiance to the flags of the United States and Texas, led by Lucas Dunn of Scout 848.
Color guard attention. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to post colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Post colors. Color guard reform. Color guard halt. Color guard forward march. Color guard at halt. Audience at ease, color guard at ease.
And please remain standing for the invocation led by Maria Luisa.
Let us take a moment to pause and reflect. Great Spirit, source of all wisdom and light, we ask for your presence in this meeting. We are thankful for the City of Nassau Bay, for its beauty and for the spirit of community that it binds us together. We ask that you grant the mayor and city council the clarity and insight that they need to make decisions that will serve all the citizens of our community with fairness and integrity. Inspire all of us gathered here, citizens, staff, and leaders, to be guided by respect, listen with open minds, and to work together with goodwill. May the work we do here tonight contribute to a stronger and a more vibrant Nassau Bay for everybody. Amen.
Can I just ask for all the troops 848 and 849 to come forward with parents and with their the organization and staff? We'd love to get a picture. Come on. Parents and everybody, welcome, please. Come on, move on down a little bit, move on down. Get in close. Everybody get closer, get closer, get closer. That's good, right there, right there. Thank you. Anybody from the troops would like to give a comment? Move to the background, before the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Good job. Moving on to agenda item number 4, I would like to first start with a introduction. Chief, I'd like to welcome Officer Kevin Lagana to the Nassau Bay Police.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, citizens. I'd like to introduce to you our newest officer in the Nassau Bay Police Department, Officer Kevin Lagana. He was sworn in on October the 8th. Comes to us with 23 years of law enforcement experience, so we're happy to have him. Kevin holds a Master Peace Officer certification and is also licensed as a police instructor and a telecommunications operator through the TCOL, our state agency that regulates law enforcement in Texas. He has more than 4,400 hours of professional in-service training hours. So we've got a lot of experience. We're glad to have him, and welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Kathy, and your other, I think that's your husband. I'm not sure if I shouldn't say that, but I believe it is. So come on up. We have a proclamation. This is honoring the Shenju Performing Arts for cultural excellence and inspiration. The word Shenju Performing Arts is a nonprofit dance and music company that has great stages across the great state of Texas, including the greater Houston area, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, Longview, Beaumont, College Station, Corpus Christi, and Allen, sharing in its artistry with communities large and small. Whereas for nearly two decades, Shenju has inspired audiences around the world with breathtaking performances that provide and celebrate the essence of 5,000 years of divinely inspired Chinese civilization. And whereas Shenju's performances embody universal values such as honor, loyalty, kindness, tolerance, and the real virtues that transcend culture and time that continue to uplift and unite audience from all walks of life. And whereas despite facing ongoing persecution and attempts to silence their art, Shenju you artists have courageously continued to perform with grace and dignity, demonstrating extraordinary perseverance in the face of adversity. And whereas through their dedication and artistry, performing arts has brought beauty, inspiration, and hope to communities around the globe, serving as a powerful statement by testament to the strength of human spirit and the enduring power of cultural expression. Now, therefore, I, Bill Johnson, Mayor of the City of Nassau Bay, together with the City Council, do hereby recognize and commend Chindu Performing Arts for its outstanding artistic excellence, its meaningful contribution to creation of cultural life, and its unwavering commitment to sharing messages of passion, courage, and faith through the performing arts. Thank you. Very good. For those who may not know, this is a cultural group that comes under quite a bit of persecution under the Chinese government. And they have done quite a bit of cultural artistry as well as faith. Yeah, all right. Did you want to say anything on that?
Thank you so much for the lot of the technical well and all the background and skill area. So thank you so much for the wonderful support. So we are the parts as we jump off, as we keep jump off, I invite all of you and come.
What dates? What
It will
dates?
be
Right after Christmas. Very good. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. I've got a lot of things for you. It is. Next, I want to do something a little different than we typically do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 checks tonight. And generally, we present these individually, but I'd like to show the citizens what their support of the community does in action. So I'd like to bring everybody up here who's going to do that so that we can all see what all things that these organizations do, what support we give them, and to give them a round of applause. So I'm asking for the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show, or Show and Rodeo, the Longhorn Project, Can Be, the Bay Area Houston Ballet and Theater, and Keyboards at Christmas. And you need to help me with all these checks. So here, let me. Houston, Longhorn, Can Be, Berry Ballet, So look, I'll just stand. These organizations are to me, just do fundamental things for the community. And I'd like to just go down and let them give you a few things, but these are your tax dollars at work. It's actually done by our hotel motel taxes, not your property taxes, but it's actually things that we do that provide not only heads and beds, but if you look at all the things they do here, it's just a cultural extravaganza for very good. Plus the things we've done. So give everybody a hand, round of applause.
My name is Andrea Wilson, and I'm chairman of the board executive director of the Local Project and Study Center, also known as Center for Agricultural Science and Engineering. Our school district, CCISD, ran the project for 1 years, and the nonprofit has done at Center. And so we're very blessed to start community partnership with the National Bay, as the Longhorn, our actual Longhorns on it, the rocket, the shuttle, and this is, so 250, we took 5 so far, and so we're doing 200 back there for every sponsorship, about that kind of thing. So I put 2 cars and, the brochure back there in the back, so if you'd like to pick one up on your way out, please do. But I want to thank everybody here. We have 4 clips marked out there, and y'all may not realize that this kind of stuff in, we're not able to do our filters, and that's about $15,000 a week in our first week. So we're getting to the speed, so thank you for a wonderful company.
I also want to mention there are two members of the Longhorn Project that are no longer with us, George Abbey and Paul Johnson, were instrumental in keeping this on.
And of course, everybody knows that we get
Lost the
them
vote
on
this year.
this year, and they want to get this more, and they do a program around, July, the office, the same office, the students, the monthly something they want to do, as, city council or their percent, but, that they weren't able to convert it up, but they were not, holding a lot. So, again, they're coming out, everybody's wanting to support, and they're not like, some of you campers, that come and say that they got the flag, but then,
And use the livestock already started.
We have to do pretty much about donation from organizations that we try to do all of our events without cost. So we don't have to go to that. For me, that's a waste of money. Change the life. Not only one person's life, but generations of time, that much of our time, us giving a first-time college. So that's huge. So we thank you all. We're welcome to the team and all of our candidates that see y'all there, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much. It has to be.
Fantastic.
So thank you all very much.
Andy?
My name is Mr. Carvajal. I'm on the board of Andy here in Nassau
also mentioned about piano lessons. Because I know that may have been interest in some.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I am a piano teacher here in Nassau Bay. Let's see, how many yet? I am actually on a wait list, but I love meeting new students. And not only do I partner here in Nassau Bay, but I am part of professional organizations. Really, we try our superiors, but get your child to the level that they need. And on top of that, here at this conference, we also have some of my older students who are just in 12th grade, and believe it or not, I put these children on these Steinway pianos and make them play together, and they have the best time in education experience with themselves. They're learning piano, but also with their personal.
They're all in touch with those.
They are. They dress up. They learn what it is to bow. They learn what it is to take personal responsibility for that, for their responsibility. So we are so excited to bring this back to you guys to grow and to get back.
Give another round of applause. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Like I said, your hotel motel tax dollars that quarter. Next is going to our citizens' comments and public hearing session. This is for anything that a citizen wants to bring the attention to the city council. So all topics are open, and just remember you need to state your name and address, and what I call your name and serial number. So I'm going to call the public hearing open at 7:24. Anybody like to come up for comment? Aaron?
Hello, my name is Erin Boyd. I am at 18707 Martinique Drive. I have the honor of being your Republican precinct chair. The last weekend I have been busy flyering doors, posting on social media, and now I just want to use my voice up here at City Hall to remind you that today was opening day of early voting. It will go until Friday, October 31st. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday from noon to 7 p.m. Election day will be Tuesday, November 4th, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The early voting locations, the closest ones to us, of course, are the Freeman Library and then also the Bay Area Community Center. That one, you can get in and out really quick. If you are a Robinson mom, before you go to carpool to pick up your kid or after, it's a really quick location. On Election Day, we will be at the Nassau Bay Baptist Church. And again, we're open 7 to 7. We are voting on 17 constitutional amendments. So make sure that you are educated on what we're voting on, and if you need a flyer, if I did not make it to your house, I know friends on San Sebastian Lane, parts of Vinland and Heritage Court, I ran out of manpower, daylight, and rubber bands, but you will get yours tomorrow. But if you are here and you want one, I have information right here for you. So thank you so very much. Vote. Yes. Yes, of course. My email address is ErinOyanBoyd@gmail.com. It's Erin Oyan Boyd @gmail.com. Is 832-549-6525. Thank you. Please, please vote. Thanks.
Anybody else? Anybody else wants to come for the public hearing and citizens' comments? Going once? Going twice? 3 times, the citizens' hearings is closed. So moving on to council member comments. Lucy?
All right. Well, first I want to say welcome to Troops 848 and 849. It's great to have you guys here. Lots of you here. So good luck on those merit badges, and hopefully we get some good content for you for those. Also, super happy to see all the organizations that we were able to give money to tonight. That's really, really exciting. My fourth grader was one of the kids that was supposed to go to Nassau this week, and so she was sad about that. So she didn't go to her Longhorn trip, but hopefully they get to reschedule because she was really looking forward to that. But it is what it is. Lots of great stuff in the city this weekend. If you look around, you can see all the beautiful flowers that have been planted. There were lots of good activities. So it was one of those weekends that makes me happy to be in Nassau Bay, seeing people out and about and doing things. And it's advertised more in League City, but I want to advertise it here too, that the Clear Creek Wildcats are going to state for water polo. So be excited this weekend. It's happening. That'll be Friday and Saturday are the tournament games. So looking forward to it. That's it.
Okay. Brian?
I'm going to call it an audible on my speech. The Clear Creek Wildcat cross-country team will be at regionals tomorrow. So I'll be in Huntsville tomorrow. Let's see. This is my favorite time of the year. Hopefully fall's finally here. And yeah, all these community events happen. It's just really fun to be around here. So I'm going to specifically just say thank you to the police, fire, and EMS for essentially hosting and coordinating National Night Out. To me, that kind of just gets things rolling for all the events happening in October. And once again, it was really fun. Even on my own street, I feel like I meet new neighbors every year or rekindle conversations and friends. So it was awesome. Appreciate it.
Great. Chase?
I have no update on any other Clear Creek sports other than good luck to both of those teams. I went to Clear Brook, so they were kind of a rival of ours, but I guess I'll have to embrace them now that I live in that area. But for me, curbs, as usual. So still working on those, and I think we're going to have 110 Clear Horizon students come out on November 7th. So we should get a good chunk of those curbs done, but we'll just keep chugging away at those. That's all I got.
I'll just echo what everyone has said. I don't have any sports updates either. I did see people planting flowers this weekend. National Night Out was a success. Thank you to the police department and the fire department. Also know that they hosted folks at the fire department. I think that was a good turnout. I think over 300 people came. So just really proud of the city and all the things upcoming this holiday season. So thank you.
Okay, I've written a lot down, but hopefully I can consolidate this. Okay, I'm going to start off with Reindeer Fun Run. Clearly, there's a reindeer sitting on the front row. Yeah, that's December 13th. That's our busy day in Nassau Bay. It's the first event of that day, so, just drink a coffee and head over and run or walk. We're doing something new this year. We're doing an award to the school, a $500 reward to the school with the most registrants. So that's supposed to motivate the schools to get involved, and I think it's working so far because I think our registrations are higher than they were last year. And the first 350 to register get a nice long sleeve t-shirt, which we can wear probably a couple months out of the year. But we're also going to try something new this year, a new program. I've seen over the years that there's been some people in our neighborhood who perhaps have needed assistance in putting Christmas lights up or Christmas decor. So we're hoping to start a program where we assist people who need it in putting up Christmas decor. And we've put together some volunteers to cover a couple of weekends in November and December to help people with that. And so we're going to provide a sign up pretty soon. We won't be climbing on any roofs, because I'm an attorney and I won't allow that. But I do hope that we can maybe get people more excited about decorating for the holidays, because now we have the golf cart parade, and so it would be a really cool thing to do. Super excited about the guy scooping the algae out of the lake today. Thank you, Paul, for making that happen, and the mayor. My kids were very fascinated by that machine. It's pretty cool. It's like a fan boat with a scooper, a front end loader on it.
Was the whole public.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're a machine person, that's something you want to put in your machine library. So I heard about the Clear Horizons volunteers you guys have. I know that's a Brandon Billings connection. He's a great physics teacher over there, and he was ready to get the high school kids some volunteer hours, so I'm super excited that he's getting involved with that too. And as far as Longhorn Project is concerned, my daughter did the summer camp, and she was like, please sign me up for both sessions. And I was like, they do the same thing probably twice. And she said she didn't care. So apparently it was that great. So if you want to sign your kids up for a great summer camp this summer, the Longhorn Project is a great summer, provides a great summer camp. So I think that's it. Oh, and I went to the fire department thing, and it was awesome, as usual. So.
I'll try and eliminate what's already been spoken. No particular order here. I want to thank the Nassau Bay Rocks ladies and all those folks who got out and did a really cool back-to-school rock hunt a few Saturdays ago. I know the kids had a lot of fun. The chief is probably going to speak to this, but Tiffany with the Nassau Bay Police Department has been here 21 years, and she's having a retirement party this Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30. I know she's been integral and a household name and just really a great asset to the community. So please, if you see her, thank her and wish her well wishes. Excited for her. National Night Out, thank you to the chief, EMS, police, fire, everyone who came out. I think we had a record number, at least on our block. And if you were a block captain, please don't forget to return your captain sign to the police department, so we have those for next year. The Nassau Bay app, we're happy to say we have over 330 users right now. It's been about 6 months since we rolled it out, and we are going to have a meeting here shortly in the next month or so to talk about sponsors with local businesses to increase our user base and also just get the word out there. So look for that to come. The paddle event, I know Jim Stowe is not here tonight, but I will speak to that. I was able to attend it this past Saturday for the practice event at Lake Nassau. It's a lot of fun, a lot of the same usual suspects. So we really hope that y'all can come out this coming Saturday. It's going to start at the Nassau Bay Bow Harbor Marina and take place all the way over and end at the Yacht Club. So there'll be food, fun. So all those marina folks, please get down there and have a good time at the end. If you can't. Excellent. Registration starts from 7:30 to 8, so please, y'all come out for that. Halloween's upon us. It's here in 2 weeks. It is on a Friday night, so I please ask that everyone slow down. I know usually it's on a school night. There's not a lot of folks out, but please, I know golf carts, it can be dangerous, so please slow down. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know everyone probably knows someone that's had it or has been, has had it, so please pray for them. I'm also aware that the Naughty Cats are selling their poinsettias for their annual fundraiser, so maybe some Naughty Cat folks can give us more information on that, but please support them. I'm happy to say that we had an STR on Barbuda, short-term rental on Barbuda, that I'd heard about through some friends that said, hey, there's a short-term rental. I knew nothing about it. I was walking by one day and just so happened to see something and say something, and turns out it was unregistered. I'd like to thank Tony Russo and Eugene Gracie for going out there and shutting that down. So if anyone sees any more traffic on that street, please let us know. It should not be there. And I think that's it. Happy holidays.
Yeah, I want to echo and build off something Brian said. Is we had the volunteer fire department open house. We had the National Night Out. We've had Halloween in the park. We've had fall sweep. And October really is the kickoff of a number of the holiday events. And it's just a wonderful time to be in Nassau Bay because everybody comes out and they're fun events, and we've only just begun. And I really want to do a shout out to all the volunteer firemen, all the police, all the EMS, Tony, these things can't happen without you guys keeping a good watch on things. So I really appreciate it, and it's amazing how many events we can pull off as a city of Nassau Bay. It's truly amazing. The other is there's two things that I'm really happy about, which is it was mentioned about the contraption called a jet ski with a front end loader on Lake Nassau. It has been something our public works guys have really worked hard over the past 6 weeks to try to contain it. We've had a number of different things. We finally got a guy out to do it. I think you're going to give an update anyways. You can see him out there. He started today, and we may even actually buy one. So we'll see. But it was quite a bit of how should I say, hurrahs I heard throughout there with the cleaning up. It looks like it's doing a good job too. I do want to say though that with Hydrilla, he's out there with a cutter. It's kind of like mowing a lawn. It's not going to kill it. It does a really good job on the algae to be able to remove it and to do the things there. But that Hydrilla, it's going to be something, and that until we really dredge that lake and Council, I think, wants to get that to about 8 feet. It's just an extremely expensive thing to do. but we're going to have to make sure we mow our hydrilla. So just be aware of that and all the things, and the guys pretty tight. The other is, I'm really pleased with the pickleball courts. I've actually gotten from the how should I say, adjunct advisory group that they were out there once they said it was open. They were measuring everything, checking everything, and they are regulation. They actually gave it the endorsement for regulation play. They said except for one thing, that there needs to be a belt in the middle because it's supposed to be 36 inches on the either end and 34 inches in the middle, and it's 36 all the way across. So we've got people that competitive that are looking at inches of that net. But it's good, and I will reaffirm that there will be a windbreak. We put up those 10-foot fences just like we did with the tennis courts, specifically because with pickleball it's more important to have a windbreak for that sport than even tennis. But everything I've seen, I think, Paul, they just look great. I hope everybody comes for Tiffany. I can't think of one other person that has been more of a glue to that organization than Tiffany. And she does it with a smile, and she does it with a pleasant attitude. So if you are here this Thursday, is it at 5 o'clock, Chief, or 6? 4:30. 4:30 here at City Hall. Please come, because Tiffany is retiring, and she's just been a great asset to our city. And then I'll make two last comments. Is I really like to give a call out. Ashley made mention, but Eugene of Code Enforcement is just doing one hell of a good job. And Tony, I know you've got him pointed in the right direction, but I can name the STR that he came and he basically shut it down. He did it in a very polite but stern way because they were unregistered. They had 15, 20 cars out there. There's been numerous businesses that used to kind of cycle through with long weeds and grass that are not doing that anymore. He's right on top of it. He's gotten them to paint certain areas, so he's really pushing the things along that line. And there's been some very delinquent homeowners that he's gone out, some that are vacant homes that were in serious dilapidation for their yard and everything, and he's gotten them to clean it all up. So really active guy, and he takes no BS and gets it done. So I really appreciate that. And the last thing you'll see on our executive session, we're going to be talking about economic development. And we've been talking about Margaritaville, but I want to talk about something other than that, which we're going to go over to make sure we keep pushing this development activity. Our hope is that in about 18 months, the city will have 7 new restaurants in the city. The first 2, I think people have heard, is Schaefer's and Stella's. One, Schaefer's being a seafood restaurant. They have purchased the Luby's building and are renovating that, and Stella's, which is a Tex-Mex and tequila bar, which is going to go where the empty suite that was built, it's brand new. For 2 years, it's been empty, but they're going to take half that building, and they're going to have the Stella's Tex-Mex. And then there's going to be a variety of others over time, particularly linked to Margaritaville. But that'll truly make Nassau Bay more of a destination city, which has been a big objective for this council. And other than that, that's all I had.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
I was just going to mention, I finally got the opportunity, unfortunately, to meet Gail with Animal Control yesterday. I texted Troy, we had a possum in our garage that she came out and thankfully got rid of. But in the meantime, there was a 2-hour delay because I guess someone has let a litter, and y'all probably know because of social media, I'm not on it, I'm sorry. Someone has probably come and dropped a litter of dogs in the neighborhood. A couple of dogs,
Yep.
and they're tan color, and they've been kind of, I guess, migrating over on Upper Bay, Sea Cove, Cape Charles, by Mahan's house on the corner. So if y'all see one of those loose, please call in so we can get them all caught. I mean, it's been a chase.
Troy and I thought
Yep.
we had got him. He actually came into my backyard, and the guy, one of the dogs is real skittish. He hopped in and swam to the peninsula when I wasn't even 30 yards from him. So, yep. Okay, anything else? Then I'm going to move on to the reports from staff and committees. City manager?
Thank you, Mayor. As mentioned, the city looks great. Have to give a big shout out to the Parks Committee and the Garden Club. And actually, next week, I'll be in Fort Worth accepting an award for the Scenic Texas Award given to the city of Nassau Bay for just how great it looks and everything. So I'm happy to accept that award on behalf of the city. We had the water line contractors mobilized last week, and I won't get too much into Elias's thunder, but we're glad they're here. We actually got a crew out right now on a water leak, so I know the Public Works guys are going to be super happy with that. I have a very good working relationship with Texas Parks and Wildlife, and actually today they put 1,131 catfish into Lake Nassau, so before you catch those, give it about 6 months, and we should have some nice catfish in the lake. We continue to spray for mosquitoes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so they're still out there. And the Public Works guys worked with Methodist and hung the breast cancer awareness banners on Methodist and Nass Road 1, so big thanks to the guys out there. And then you'll start seeing the decorations go up on Saturn in conjunction with NASA. So it's a lot of good things happening. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks, Paul. Chief?
All right, thank you again, Mayor and Council. Real quick, our numbers for August, 201 calls for service, 46 reports, 123 traffic stops, 89 citations, 63 warnings, 8 arrests, 7 of those were misdemeanors, 1 was a felony, 4,079 patrol miles, 89 training hours for the officers, and our average response time was 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And yes, we do have party for Tiffany Hatton this week. That's the second time, Councilman, I'm going to include you. You've taken my thunder, but it's okay. I wish we weren't having the party. I wish it wasn't going anywhere, but yes, that'll be 4:30 to 6:30 Thursday, October 23rd, right here in the council chambers. And on the 25th, this coming Saturday, we have the drug take back for the fall. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Front driveway of City Hall here. We'll have a station set up where you can just drive through and drop off your
Say
prescription.
the date again, Chief.
October the 25th, this coming Saturday. It'll be drop off your unused medications, prescription medications, over-the-counter medications, anything you don't want to get that you don't want to use at the house or don't need at the house anymore. The only thing is that because the DEA cannot take liquids or sharps, we can't take needles or anything like that. So just capsules, pills, anything like that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions for Chief?
I have a quick question, and I know I've asked you this in the past, and my memory has left me as to what your response was, so I'm sorry if I'm asking again, but is there any way that we could close Martinique for Halloween night? I have concerns about safety. We have a lot of issues with cars driving down that. I mean, obviously, people live there and there's private residences, but it's become a kind of an increasing issue. And with Halloween being on Friday this year, I just think that there's going to be a larger issue. So we have golf carts, we have cars, and if we could, block off basically from Howard Ward to to David Braun, that area, or maybe to Kings Tree at least, from car traffic. I just think it would be so much safer for the kids. I can't remember what you've told me in the past as to why that was an issue.
I'm not sure either. I think the only problem would be the residents that live in that area. We'd have to give plenty of notice. I think that, and I don't know if I'd check with council, if that'd be something we'd have to have.
Maybe that's something you can go back with and see what.
Mr. Gregg has something to say.
I'm sorry?
We can work it out.
Okay, yeah,
we don't
we'd
need
have to
council
look at personnel, if we have enough extra personnel to bring in, and I don't know, that might require parks to come in or Public Works to come in with some barricades and stuff like that. Just the logistical issues.
There might be other streets that people are worried about. It's always been Martinique for me personally.
Upper Bay Road, too.
Right, and
But
parts.
yeah, correct.
It just seems like there's so much movement. It's so dark. I mean, our streetlights are not very bright in Nassau Bay in certain areas, and I just think that it would be, I've had people ask me for the last, just since I've been a council member, hey, why can't we do this? And I think I asked you before, and you gave me, I think it was the private residences issue, but.
Yeah, the only other issue that those who are coming to that area, I don't know how many of them are foot, how many of them are traffic vehicles, and then you block off, and then people start parking vehicles, and all of a sudden now you have a parking issue on either side of that. So it's just the logistics that we'd have to look at in personnel and stuff. So, I mean, we can, there's a possibility of maybe putting extra personnel driving the area, our officers, and we'll take a look at it. So.
Okay.
And kind of the front area of Point Lookout too is an issue.
Yeah, I would
It's
just
the main,
echo.
it's the main thoroughfares.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Point Lookout and then going up Martinique. I mean, that's the busiest part, and I can just speak in support of that. Like, taking my kids, it's not relaxing because I'm just constantly worried about the traffic. And you can't see them. They're running around, and it's quite nerve-wracking for a parent, so.
I mean, I'm gonna say something here which is really needs to be looked at. It's just been a lower priority, but it's really not us. But the city street lights were never meant to be the illuminating lights for the streets. Believe it or not, it's the lamps on everybody's street lights on their front of their house are meant to be the safety and the illumination for pedestrians and things like that. Or correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, the lights are to augment in intersections and things like that a little bit. But we've got a number of lights that are in front of people's homes that are just not working, plain and simply not working.
Yeah, I take that turn coming home from Cape Bahamas, and I take a right on Barbuda, right at Kim's house, on the corner, and it is
Pitch dark.
absolutely pitch. And I turn and I think every time, thank goodness there's no one here wearing black, because it is very dark there, right at Cape Bahamas turning onto
And
Barbuda.
there's many. I mean, you'll go into certain areas where you'll see, I'm just going to say, a block of 10 homes that their lights are out in a row, and it's dark.
And that's HOA enforcement.
Yep. But that may be something we need to look at. But it's to me, I don't think the answer is putting in these ugly center point lights. Moreover, to me, it's how do we get back to the original intent and get citizens to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and encouraging citizens to report when the streetlights are out, because I
Yeah.
have people send me
Correct.
messages all the time saying, hey, can you tell Paul that this light is out, or this one's flickering, or.
Yep. Matt?
All right, good evening. Couple things for you from the volunteer fire department. So first thing is I spoke too soon on the new system last week. The data's in there. However, when we ran the report, it pulled the report for 4 of our 38 members. So for calls, we can go in and manually count. That's 20 for the month of September. As I just mentioned, we have 38 members, but we're talking 1,000 plus hours. We're not manually counting 2. So we'll get that for you as soon as we get the whole report system figured out. I just want to touch a little bit on, since October is Fire Prevention Week, a lot of y'all had mentioned the open house. Huge success. For anyone that came out, really appreciate it. We estimate we had between 350 and 400, we say 375, 350 to 400 folks there for the couple hours that the fire station was open. So it's always a great event. We look forward to it, reaching out to the community, continuing to spread the message. So that was great. The other thing that we've had for a while is the fire department a while ago put together cookbooks. And those cookbooks were meant to raise money for our Ed Newton Scholarship. The Ed Newton Scholarship is something we give to members that are pursuing educational endeavors. Again, all volunteers here in the city. And we're looking to raffle off these cookbooks. So for Fire Prevention Week, or sell the cookbooks, I'm sorry, for Fire Prevention Week for the month of October 1st through 31st, we're offering, for every cookbook that you buy, you get an entry into a raffle. And it's for a ride for 4 in an MBBFD fire truck. So come Saturday, November 1st, we'll draw a winner, and they'll be notified, and then we'll announce the winner on Facebook. So if you hadn't heard that message already, I have flyers. I will put them on the back table.
So
and
you
can
didn't
pick
like the calendar idea?
The calendar idea is talked about quite frequently, but no, we do not have a Nassau Bay Fire Department calendar, and I'm not sure we will, but we have cookbooks, so if you're interested. Any questions for me before I step away?
Code enforcement? Oh,
No,
I'm
you
sorry, I
good,
didn't
Haley?
see.
I was going to say, where can we purchase the cookbooks?
Yep, so it's on the flyer, but you can reach out. Mary Dickerson is a point of contact, and I think she also has Leslie on here. But we actually have an email address, cookbooks@nassaubayfd.org, so
Good pick.
there you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tony?
So this past month, code enforcement hadn't been quite as busy as far as certain cases. They've got currently 10 open cases going on. 6 of them are high grass. There's a couple of that have tree limbs and debris in their yard that he's working on, and some swimming pool maintenance. The biggest thing going on with Eugene is next week he's going to be going to Mesquite, Texas for his basic code enforcement officer certification class. Once he completes that class, the following week he'll have the state exam, and then he'll become a registered code enforcement officer. So that will increase his authority and powers in the city to do certain things without shadowing me, essentially, and stuff. So he'll be kind of more on his own. So that's going to be really nice. He wanted me to point out a few things also as far as there's been a lot of the smaller bandit signs that he's been working on lately, where for smoke shops or whatever. A lot of those signs are required to be permitted, so he's checking as he goes by and make sure that these certain organizations have permits for these signs. If not, he's picking them up. I know when it's like a church sign or an organization that's within the city, he tries to go directly to that organization instead of picking the signs up himself, and asks them, hey, please go through the city and make sure that you're doing everything appropriately. If not, pick them up. And then also when the event's done, to make sure you go back and pick those up, so he doesn't have to do that in the city. We've been handling a few cases along Nassau Road 1 where the contractors for, I'm not sure who it's for, but they're running fiber along there with TxDOT
Frontier,
and stuff.
yeah.
Frontier. They're storing their materials on people's personal property. We've got a vacant lot on Lazy Lake where they had a lot of materials stored, and they didn't have permission from the owners, so we had to work through the channels and get all that remedied and removed and so forth. Demolition permits, as Mayor, as you know, we had one demolition area on Surf Court that we had to handle, and we got that resolved. So those things are keeping him busy. Fire marshal wise, we're doing normal inspections. We've done about 14 fire inspections for the month, and including Knox box inspections, which is our key entry program that we have here in the city. And then around 8 continuing education training hours have been done. So really, that's about it. Questions?
Any questions for Tony?
I hate to ask, but could we get the CVS, those bushes, or could you put out a ticket to them? I talked with Dave, the manager guy in there, and a couple months ago, and he said to wait a while because they had a new manager, but it's pretty bad.
It is.
So,
Okay.
low priority, I just want to mention it. 'Cause
Yeah, we nailed
It's
it.
always nice when they get
You
cut.
bet.
Thanks.
That's no problem. We'll take care of that.
Any other questions?
I noticed the smoke shop was empty, finally.
Yeah, I know.
Of stuff. That took like a year, I guess.
There was a lawsuit there, just for, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
y'all.
EMS?
I'll take that, Mayor. Sean was able to come tonight. They've had total of 92 calls. Contracting cities, they had 18 calls in El Largo, 10 calls in Taylor Lake. Mutual aid out of the city, League City 0, Seabrook 9, Webster 6. And mutual aid into the city, League City 2, Seabrook 4, and Webster 6.
So we tied with Webster. Okay. Has he identified the 2 that he's going to convert to employee yet?
Yes, but I don't know. Do you know their names, Stephanie?
I'm sorry, say it again? Okay, Kevin Freese, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. October 1st, okay, thank you. Public Works?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For our capital improvement projects, the Nassau 1 water line has been completed, and the contractor's just finishing up restoration. They also began work on the next phase of water line replacement. They started on Nassau Bay Drive. The street replacement project will begin next week. For the water department, 1,500 meter red for utility billing. A major water leak was repaired at 1323 Saxony, with several more over the past week. For wastewater, 900 feet of sewer line was jetted along Point Lookout and Space Park to improve flow and capacity. Parks Department, new trash cans were installed in Saturn medians. The restrooms at David Brown Park were painted and new lights were installed. And sprinkler repairs have been ongoing and the median citywide. For the street department, the fountain at the Marriott was power washed and curb painting continues.
I know there's a number of the kids said thank you for the Public Works guys taking the fish out of the hydrilla
Oh, yeah.
and putting them back in the thing,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, we're trying to save as many as we can, so.
Yep.
Thanks for the coffee and the water on Saturday morning,
Oh,
too.
yeah,
That was nice.
of
You guys
course.
got going with the good stuff.
And Liz, real quick, how many water breaks, main water breaks we've had in the last few weeks?
So we had four last week, and we have, the crew is on one right now, so 5.
This is the old lines, though.
Yes, Mayor.
The ones
Yes.
we're gonna repair.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Shows why we need to repair them.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions for Elis? Special events?
I don't represent special events, but I love them. The regional water polo tournament was this weekend, so I was distracted and did not attend Halloween in the park, but I heard it was successful.
Maybe Chase might have something.
Yeah, I don't know. And I saw pictures, and it looked like a lot of fun, but I was not there.
I have the same update. I wasn't there this weekend. I was out of town, so I wasn't able to attend.
Just
But I don't have an update.
looking forward to the boat parade and.
Yes, the
and,
upcoming events will be amazing.
Holiday in the park.
Yes, yes. I will be there for that.
Okay. Parks and Recreation? Nancy?
Well, tonight I bring you a list of completions. How nice. We are debuting all kinds of things. First of all, the blue swings that were a bit controversial down by the creek. There's people waiting in line to sit in them. So you can sit all day long. They're nice and comfortable. They don't get hot. So that's one thing. The other exciting thing is the ADA tables down at the park. They now have concrete under the lips where wheelchairs can fit. So that's super exciting, not dirt. We also have the plaque that was right in the center of where the merry-go-round is, so to be able to push a wheelchair.
Joan Crane plaque.
Yes.
Yes.
So that has been moved graciously over to the side, and we have concrete leading to the ADA merry-go-round. The bike racks have been moved over to the side, so they're not in the way. People don't have to trip over them. Children aren't running and falling into them. We have the crepe myrtles planted, and that we had yard people come out and plant them, but it took Public Works. It's interesting what's under the ground of Nassau Bay. There were huge concrete pipes, I guess you'd call it, that pickaxes and all kinds of stuff, but before that, we had to have the guys that come out to do all the lights and check and make sure that we weren't going to get electrocuted. It was truly an involvement, and all those Public Works guys are just amazing. They all showed up, they did their job, and then they dispersed back to wherever they needed to be. Very appreciated. And the crepe myrtles now, just so you understand, they're not planted in the dog park, so the dogs don't have fun peeing, but they're right outside. But when you sit on the benches, you get into late spring and all summer long, even up to now, as they get a little bigger. And they're good-sized trees. They're about 9-10 feet tall. They'll block the rays of the sun. Okay, we couldn't afford to do the covers over their benches, but it'll block that sun so they don't have it right in their face, which should help a lot. The other thing is, so that's for the Apollo Dog Park. We got the dog park equipment, finally came in. We've graciously had that ordered since April. And I thought it, maybe came from Europe or something. It didn't. It came from the East Coast. So They know me over there very well. But it's here, so our Public Works will put that together, and that's just some fun things like ramps and bones to jump over, simple things, nothing that any dogs can get hurt on. If the kids get on it, they can't get hurt,
To
they
give
can
credit,
play.
there's a lot of personality to those,
there are.
that new equipment that you're
Yes,
putting in.
yes,
So
it is. It'll be.
Be on the lookout. It's very, got a lot of
It's kind
care.
of like you see some of the things in the Westminster dog shows, so any size dog will be able to do it, but most of all, it's safe. It's safe for the dogs, it's safe for the little kids who want to be dogs. Okay, then we have the tennis courts, the screens are in, and Ilias is looking at some different ways to try to tie them down, because that's been the biggest issue, is getting them to stay where you don't pop the, what do you call the twist tie things? The what? Tie, yeah. So we're working on that. We've got the ones coming for the other part. The golf cart signs are in, so as soon as the template comes in, his men are going to install the templates for the golf cart parking right in front of the pavilion, which will be a huge safety issue. It'll be great for all the events coming up, into our holiday season. The mayor, I understand you guys have written an ordinance so we can enforce it. That's awesome. Then we have the bathrooms. Nobody has to go home.
Yeah, that should have been, that's a real highlight.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been in the bathrooms in 20 years or something, because they scared me. They were nice. They really were. So congratulations
So maybe
and
to give better
thank you.
credit to our Public Works
Oh,
guys.
absolutely.
We were looking at replacing those, putting them all new, and Ilias said, wait, hold my beer, let me show you what we can do. And you guys went in there and completely redid them.
Oh, they
I mean,
did.
They're
They're nice.
spectacular.
Yeah.
You really did a good job.
Commodes flushed, the
More,
whole
more
thing.
so than I would have ever thought, so you guys did a really
Yeah,
good job.
it's
It looked
really
great.
pretty. So, yeah, so that's a real plus with all the things coming up. And then debuting at number one, the pickleball courts. Oh, my gosh. How exciting. There's some lady down there giving lessons, and just the guys are, I don't know if you got the second set of bleachers, but they've been nice. They moved 2 bleachers, matching ones in front of the baseball field, and there were 2 facing the I don't know, grassy field off to nowhere for Dreamers, I guess. But anyway, they moved those, put 2 of them that match by the baseball fields, and there's going to be 2 in front of the pickleball courts, so we have order and lines and, friendship while you're waiting to play. As far as the addressing the net, I had already asked. The nets that we got, as Ilias understands, there isn't a piece for these particular nets that will do the 34-inch.
Are there other nets coming in or something, or I don't know? But they actually said just loosen a little bit.
Well, he's got handles, but he's holding
Yeah.
on to the handles so nobody gets out there and
Yeah.
gets too,
Right.
crazy about it.
I heard they're 2 inches over regulation.
Maybe we can crank just a little bit. So, but, I asked him, I said, where's the middle part? And he's already checked, he's on the ball. So I want to just emphasize how great our Public Works is. They have been for every kind of thing. And number one, even better than all these amenities, the grass out throughout the whole city's been cut at one time.
At one day, yeah.
It's just amazing. It's the way it used to be, and it's so exciting because I was out in all these parks, and every one of them were pretty,
Great.
and they look nice, and, and the weather's a little bit better every day, and especially if you go down toward the evening, it's really nice. So, thank you so much. Okay, keep Nassau Bay beautiful. Where am I? Okay, Garden Club's done a great job. They've really, they've got a lot of worker bees, so, that's really good. What our 2 committees have tried to do is really work with different groups around the city. We've met with and worked closely with Garden Club, Kathy Rice, Goon, Frame, awesome. We've also been working with Nassau Bay HOA. I've been over and talked to Kennedy and Kathy Huff, trying to share with them. We went out with Robert Garcia and Elias, looking at all the sprinkler systems. I just want you to appreciate all the work that this takes. I'm kind of going on for a second, but a lot of our beds didn't look good because the sprinklers didn't work, or it worked here, or it shot back here, and here's the plants. The roses that you see around the city, we're going to prune them back some. They need water. The Nassau Bay hired some landscapers. They went out and did the 2 brick walls, so the one by the Baptist Church, one on Point Lookout, and then the marina. I showed them how to cut all that scary Sleepy Hollow stuff at the marina toward the home that's on the side, toward the pavilion itself down there at the pool. That was really scary. I wasn't sure what somebody would find in there, like snakes and stuff. I mean, it's gross. They cut it out, go down there. It's beautiful. I mean, it really is. They don't have water, as I understand it, where the marina sign is.
We put water up, my husband and I did yesterday.
You put water?
We're running a hose with timer sprinklers for those flowers right now.
Oh, okay.
So there's water on
So
them.
you got sprinklers to come on by themselves then?
Yeah, they're on timer.
Okay.
Just sprinklers, yeah.
Well, that'll work. Then we'll get them some flowers. I'll come to that in a second. So anyway, so they worked. They had the dirt pulled. I showed them how the weeds were, and if you dig out the dirt, then you'll get rid of your weeds. And so they've had all that worked on, and their beds look lovely. They had a really good turnout for fall sweep. Miss Lucy was there, but there were families, and that was nice, and that's what we want to do. Okay, West Indies, worked with some of that, part of that HOA in Upper Bay. Jack Cronin lives over there. He headed that up. We had Michelle Weller and her mom, Charlotte. Her mom, Charlotte, is like 82. That woman puts us all to shame. She's amazing how she gets out and digs and works. But they spruced up that corner. I didn't get all the plants in. It's going to have a tropical theme by spring. Okay. Fire department, I'm not sure exactly where we are with fixing the water. They got out there. They did some stuff. It's complete? No. No, it's still got concrete. Okay. Well, can you keep me posted so we can come and work together? And I've also been working with Canby about that to see, because they started part of a project there. So I talked to Colleen and waiting to hear about that. So we are working with them. Clear Creek Horizon, we have 110 students coming. The trick is now about if they paint the curbs, we're going to need some police help. Because last time, quite honestly, when they came and they were by medians and stuff, we had some less than considerate citizens or people in our city who were driving real close to the kids.
They were all visitors, I swear.
I'm sure they were. Anyway, I probably, quietly to the chief, I parked my car where I probably shouldn't, but it blocked the kids. And my husband's like, you did what? Anyway, along the street, so. Maria was wonderful. We needed new signs for fall sweep. She designed that, I believe, and got that taken care of, ordered our food and drinks, so that was huge, and Maria's plate's always so full, so we appreciate that. Which brings me to, I have one concern on all this positive. It's not the best copy, but you really need to see this, because we have all this wonderful positiveness. This is a black and white copy of the Compass Rose. The Compass Rose, I can't imagine how hard it is, because I've tried to do newsletters for years, t-shirts, all kinds of things. They've got a ton of work. It's not pretty. I've got the copy right here. When you look at this copy, you see the Halloween, you see the writing, You see El Lago's ad. You see over here Parks and Recreation. You see a lot of small writing. You see Fire Week. You see calendar of events. Tell me where Swan Fall Sweep jumps out at you. You're searching, aren't you? You're searching. This jumps out great. You flip over to the other side, what do you see? You see Canby, that's not on your papers. You see this pops out, garden clubs, bigger, bold writing. Where's Fall Sweep? I want to go forward, that's the point of this. You can't go backwards. The papers you have stapled behind are the volunteers. And it may seem like a waste of paper, but I felt like you honestly needed to see it, because the volunteers, we have one resident, Eveline Hung Simpson, one resident came out for Fall Sweep, at least as far as I can see, and pictures that were submitted. Everyone you see on there is Garden Club and Parks and Rec. There are more Parks and Rec people because they set up under the pavilion. They registered these people. They helped coordinate, answer questions. So there's
So you'd like a little bit more prominence to be able to get your word out.
Well, it's not just us, but, no offense, but this is El Lago. And look how it jumps out. It's an ad. It's very, important. But this is our city. And Fall Sweep is one of our huge events. This is El Lago. What jumps out at you on this nice page? When I have to submit it, I submit it using a form, and I type it in. There's nowhere to put any cutesy stuff. I now have to, and I learned this weekend, I have submitted pictures. There's no pictures that I submitted on here, because I always submit 3 or 4 pictures. There's no pictures. I learned this past weekend, I'm old, I had to figure out how to do photo library and put it into a file. I've done it on computer, but I've never done it using my cell phone. So I did it so I could submit it, because I was told that it wouldn't be used if I didn't have it submitted properly. Okay. And I'm supposed to use a high-resolution pictures or shiny something or another. I'm a volunteer. And I'm not a very good photographer. I end up with more pictures of my kids' feet than their faces. So I wouldn't do well with a good camera. I'm not trying to be, dragged down, because we have all these wonderful things.
Received. There used to be more photographs, and there used to be more stuff. And
I just want you as a council, you have the say about this, I believe. But to be aware, we have all these things. Canby's is not till December 13th, and it's wonderful. But it's December. This was a few days away.
Yeah, message received.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a completely fair point taken. I actually submitted something for Keyboards of Christmas for the next newsletter, and I got frustrated with the Jot form because there wasn't a place to put the graphic or the JPEG, so I emailed Davina separately, and I'm actually working with her aside on that Nassau Bay app, so I'll communicate with her, because that's one thing I have, I guess, echoed, but not loudly enough, but I think there could have a better job and have a thorough review of this before it does get published. There's been other things like National Night Out, like we should have looked back to prior years to say, hey, this goes in the newsletter. They should know that this needs to go in the newsletter prior to that, month going out. So I echo your frustrations, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but point taken, and I will.
We have a lot of people that would have come, and even some of the people on our committee actually came and were mad at me and said, why didn't you post this? It's there. So, but going forward, the city looks great. We have, we went sailing on a small boat on the lake. It was fun. We weren't by any of the hydrilla. There's been the paddle events. We've got the big paddle events. So there's all kinds of riders, all kinds of things that you can do in these parks. And now handicapped people can easily go in. The sidewalks are wide and enjoy it.
8:16, we have to keep going. Anything else? Yep. All right.
I will say
Thank
Mike
you, Nick.
Magnan always handles the Canby Corner, and he's really good with images, and he sends his stuff in, and they
Well, one of
put it
the
on there.
things I think is the dilemma, and I want to throw a block for Davina's, is that I think she's taken a strategy of trying to put everything going on and having everything in each time, which means everybody's corresponding space gets smaller and smaller. Whereas before, we used to focus on certain things, and some things just didn't get in every time, and we did a rotation. And what I'm hearing is we may need to think about that a little bit, so how we can make sure certain events gets the publication that they get. Because she's got everything in here now, and everything on a regular basis, and, you know, I think she's depending on people looking at that on stuff rather than, you know, the amount of shelf space, if I use that for an indication. But we can talk about that. Yep. Okay, I want to move on to the matters at hand, which starts off with the consent agenda. You know, all matters listed under this item, these items are considered routine by city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussions of these matters. If discussion is desired by any council member on the item, that item can be removed from the agenda and will be considered separately. Right now, there is a consideration of possible action to approve the minutes from September 15th, 2025, the regular meeting minutes, and September 29th, the 2025 special meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion, or do I hear any comments?
I did have one comment. Just to go back, I think we skipped the Maritime Safety Committee. Brian Brown did email us, so we all have a copy of what that is, and their next meeting is November 19th, so.
Correct.
We are aware of it, yeah.
I saw he wasn't here, I didn't do that. I'll mention something else. He mentioned there'll be a survey coming out, and I asked him to float that to everybody on council, because I want to make sure that everybody's okay with the scope and questioning for a
If you want me to, I can
citizen survey.
I can go over his notes if you want me to.
Sure,
Just to
that
go
would be
through so
great.
everyone's aware of the maritime. So I sent a notification saying that all the signs and aids to navigation are installed. The lights on a couple of the no-wake buoys in the cove having issues staying lit at night. Elias is going to look into that for more durable lights, as they should be lasting more than 6 months. Non-skid tape will be going down on the right side when descending of the kayak small boat launch ramp on Upper Bay Drive. This will provide some foot traction, just a safety measure. Public Works is also going to look into the installation of a handrail so that it meets ADA compliance. There is a survey that's ready via SurveyMonkey. A link will be going out in November, water bills, as well as the Compass Rose through social media. This survey will help our committee set a baseline to see if recent changes in city ordinance as well as education efforts are having the desired effect. It will also help steer recommendations for activities through the committee, as well as highlight areas where we can help provide better education to voters. Survey will run about 6 weeks, and the link will be published through 2 water bill cycles. Based on those results, they'll look to update and expand the city public service announcement videos. This will be done by the committee members to keep the city's cost as close to zero as possible, and their next meeting is November 19th at 4 p.m. On top of that, I would move to approve the consent agenda amendments on September 15th, 2025, and September 29th, 2025.
Do I hear a second? Second by Ashley. Any further comment? Then I call for the vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0. Moving on to agenda item number 9, old business. This is a council update regarding the Vercadia pilot program for the security cameras located at city parks and waterways. Paul?
Yes, Mayor. I sent some video footage from Verkada last week, and also some of the update was adding a camera to Sea Cove at the end overlooking the Nassau Bay Cove, and also at the Finger Piers. So the current budget is $65,000. And then the original scope bid was $73,000, and it went up to $89,856 due to the 2 PTZ cameras. Those are the pan, tilt and zoom. Okay, thanks.
These are the parks.
Yes, and these are a little bit more than the bullet cameras, but if you look at the videos from last week, they can zoom in a whole lot. So the breakdown is $44.52 per month per camera. That's license and warranty for the whole 3-year project. And then also, I have Alex here with Ricotta. He can answer any questions.
Just a clarification, you mentioned there's a $65,000 for the budget and this scope will creep to 89, but that's 89 over 3 years.
Yes, Mayor.
So really, that's 30,000 of a $65,000 budget,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, okay. Just,
Okay.
okay. Any questions here? Anything for Vercadia?
And you should have your
My
package.
comments, I'm amazed at these cameras. The visual clarity, the ability to zoom in, it is a capability we just haven't had, and I think it'll do what we need to have done. Don't know what anybody else thinks. This is only an update.
I'm also impressed, and I guess I don't have the material in front of me, but wasn't there going to be a price increase if we don't commit to by 10/31? Is that?
Yes, so come September 1, there will be
November?
Is it September? No, November 1. There will be a price increase due to tariffs, and so they don't know that exactly right now, but there will be a price increase. And if you have any more information, Alex, you can come up here.
Thank you again for having me, Council. So to talk about the price increases, some of our team has been at Verkada for 4 years, and this is the first time that we've had a price increase since then. So, for future considerations, it's nothing really to worry about. However, we've tried to hold off for as long as we could with tariffs and inflation going on in, recent economy. So, we tried to hold off again, like I said, but it came down to.
Quick question, with
Yep.
with a proposal out, will you honor the past prices, or will ours be effective to the new pricing after November 1st?
So the pricing that you have there is no price increases included, and then once November 1st hits, it will be a price increase from
At the higher price. So
Yes,
that
sir.
encourages us to commit now, correct?
It is recommended, but
How much is the price increase?
so we don't know definitively. It's based on camera model. We anticipate the PTZ, which is the bigger camera industrial size, that might take a larger hit versus, say, a bullet camera.
Order of magnitude, would you be thinking?
We've heard anywhere from 10% to maybe 7%, roughly, on those, but I don't have a definitive number yet. We're going through the calculations
So
this
for
week.
$90,000, that's $9,000.
Essentially, yes, sir. So we're
Just for
figuring out
thought.
the prices this
Just
week
for
as we
thought.
speak.
Okay.
Any other questions I might be able to answer?
I'd say we've also got the flock side of things too, so I
Yes,
would
ma'am.
hold any kind of consensus things until we hear that. Anything else, and we move on to the flock? Then I want to move on to the council update for old business number 2, a presentation by Flock regarding security cameras located at city parks and waterways. Paul?
Yes, Mayor. So this will be a virtual presentation by Flock. Mr. Ford's going to be giving the presentation, but also I think we're going to have to, if there's any questions, we're going to have to probably, I think he can hear us, but it's going to be hard to hear.
Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Can you
I
hear
can.
us?
Great.
Okay.
And I have to send a request to share my screen. If I just sent the request, if that's okay, if you would accept that, please. Great. Thank you so much. Let me just make sure I find the right one. This isn't going to. Can you all see this screen that says Next Era Policing?
Yeah.
Starts now. Great. This won't be. I try not to do death by PowerPoint. Chief Cromie knows that. But it is important to share some things. To introduce myself, my name is Seamus Ford. I am the Flock Safety Rep supporting Nassau Bay, and realistically, all of the agencies around you. I work very closely with Chief Nunn, Chief Donaldson. I work with KEMA, of course. So there are quite a few agencies that are not only using the LPRs that you're using today, but have invested into our live video cameras. I know that in recent history, and I guess I'm not entirely sure how recent that is and how long that's lasted, but there has been some vandalism situations at some of your parks. I've had the pleasure of working directly with Chief Cromie to, go over what a security plan would look like in regards with Flock. So what we're going to do today is kind of go through what the options are in terms of our cameras, how they're powered, what the, I guess what the payment structure looks like, warranty, all of that stuff. And I'll just kind of go through that on the slide deck. Any questions before I start, or should I get right into it?
I'd hop right into it.
Great, thank you so much. So we have a couple different types of cameras. These are the stationary cameras that we have. We do have mobile security trailers, but that is not obviously what we're talking about here. For the stationary cameras, we do have our pan tilt zoom cameras, which are turnkey live and recorded videos. That is purpose-built. They are, I shouldn't say they're purpose-built, but we do find them more often in situations like parks, right? Trying to cover a broader area where you are able to pan and tilt and zoom those cameras using AI to be able to do, people detection after hours, between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. If someone walks by or a vehicle drives by, Chief Cromie is going to be alerted within the same flock system that he uses for his LPR. Now on the other side of the screen, you'll see our fixed live video cameras, right? So that's for constant recorded footage. And I think it's interesting because in a couple of the different parks, I'm thinking of, David Braun versus Howard Ward, right? Howard Ward is going to, we've looked at some of these fixed cameras because we have that workout area, we have that little sitting area along that major thoroughfare where the water is, then we have the gazebo and then the broader park area. We want constant video footage of that, right? Instead of the pan tilt zoom needing to, obviously move, right? So we've taken all of these things into consideration. But those are the two types of cameras that we're looking at for this project specifically. They are stationary. This is more so, you'll notice that these two slides are relatively the same, right? I always like to show these slides because it shows the difference between these two cameras. A few things that I want to point out here. So the AI-powered insights, I mentioned them, but that is really driven through the Guardian mode is what we call them, right? We are telling you if someone is walking by these cameras between that designated time, right? We don't need those, alerting the police department during the day when multiple people are walking by. That's for those custom hours, at night where vandalism typically does happen more often than not, right? The other thing that I always like to bring up is this evergreen system. So we do call it evergreen technology here, where you're looking at a fixed live video camera here. And even on the next slide, you can see a pan tilt zoom camera. Now, if we come out with a new version of that pan tilt zoom camera that will be replacing these old cameras, you don't have to come and buy those from us. We will come into your city and we will give you the new cameras, right? And that's important to us because you are subscribed to us. It is a partnership here, just like the Flock LPR cameras that you have in your city. When we come out with the next version of LPR, we're coming into the city and we're replacing those cameras with the updated LPR. That doesn't mean a price increase. That just simply means that you are going to have the most up-to-date technology that Flock has to offer because you are a partner of ours. So that's the evergreen aspect. Now, for the flexible deployment, it's very important.
And just to slow you down 1 second, when you
Yes,
said you
absolutely.
give it to us, you install it yourself, or is it ours to install?
Oh yeah, it's a full installation. So we do the permitting, installation, call 811, make sure we're not going to put it on any pipes underneath the ground, all that good stuff. Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? Good. Okay. Speaking of installation, the flexible deployment. This is what's most important. As I'm sure you're all aware, we're in Texas more broadly. This isn't a Nassau Bay thing. This isn't a flock safety thing. There's no installations allowed on center point poles, right? I think Chief was actually telling me that there was a citizen that had their own cameras pulled off of a center point pole. We've seen that all over the broader Southeast Texas area. We obviously work very closely with Harris County and HPD, and they have a lot of center point poles, and we've worked with center point, and they just simply say no to any center point installations. And the reason I bring that up is because we have the ability, because we are effectively infrastructure free with our technology being solar powered, and I'll address the solar power aspect of things, but also the fact that we that we can put our own poles effectively anywhere. So we don't need to rely on any center point poles. So we come in and we drop the poles in the ground, we do the full installation for you, and we make sure that the solar is good. Now on the solar aspect of things, when I was speaking with Paul and I was speaking with Chief, I know that there were some concerns about solar-powered cameras. The LPRs that are in your city are solar-powered today. Every LPR, all 15,000 plus across the state of Texas right now, are solar-powered. We have solar-powered live video cameras with Lakeview PD over in Taylor Lake Villages in El Lago. We have them in Kemah as well. Our solar-powered cameras are field tested. You'll actually notice that they're operating at night. I'm going to show you all some live video cameras tonight on the Zoom screen, if you wouldn't mind. But we test them up in Colorado, right? Actually, where I am right now, all throughout the winter, where there's no sun for like 3 or 4 days on end, 5 days, sometimes a week on end, and our cameras still stay powered because we don't need full sun coverage, but it also retains a lot of power from previous sun exposure. So in terms of the powering capabilities of it and I guess the lack of infrastructure that's needed, we put a pole down, we hook a camera up, and it's working for you because it's also cellular LTE. That's built into the cost of our cameras, right? So we use Verizon, AT&T, FirstNet, whatever is available in the area, whatever gets the best service, 4G or 5G, whatever is available. And again, that's all included in the cost. There was a lot there. Any questions about what I just shared?
When I make a comment, you mentioned about CenterPoint, the one that we had to have removed is now back. So I don't know if council has noticed, but a resident has put cameras on at the corner of Upper Bay and Port Royal, and now they've even used conduit to come up on it and put them right on the CenterPoint. So that issue is real. Just to put it on the record.
So I missed a little. It was cutting in and out. I think I picked up most of that. We have tried working with CenterPoint on a number of different projects. LPR, live video. They will not let us our vendors install. We know some other vendors that have had the same issues. I'm not entirely sure the path that you all took, if it was directly through the city.
No, it's a very aggressive initiative of a citizen doing a unapproved installation on a CenterPoint pole.
Did they get the permit from CenterPoint?
They did not.
I hope this.
I don't want to digress here. I just wanted more of a communication to my council members here that we've got a very, very aggressive initiative of a citizen using that pole.
I've had some of my agencies try to harness like some of our Flex LPRs to CenterPoint poles. They don't just take them down. They don't really care if they break or not. Then they've broken some of ours, and we replace them obviously without cost. But it's an ongoing thing, and it's just kind of a hill that we try not to die on at this point because CenterPoint.
I don't blame you. But onward. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, please. And these are really important conversations. Because over in Groves, right, I work with City Marshal Chris Robin, and he has Entergy, and they're a little bit easier to work with, right? So it just depends on the vendor. But I just wanted to make that very clear that we don't need necessarily CenterPoint poles or any other poles other than our own to be able to put these cameras up in place. I'll move on here. I kind of touched on everything on this slide. The lifetime hardware, software, and security upgrades, that's really important. I'm going to touch on that for the most part on this slide. We effectively do have like lifetime warranties because if our cameras break, we just replace them for you, right? You don't have to pay extra. I mean, you can ask Chief when he was taking a look at our LPRs, and this stands true today. If one of our cameras breaks and we can't fix it, we're just replacing it, right? We're not going to charge you to replace anything. That's the beautiful thing about the subscription, right? You all have the infrastructure. It's also forecastable, right, for the city, knowing what your cost is going to be year over year.
Real quick, Seamus, I'm going to jump in. We had one of the LPR cameras just last week and a half that we realized wasn't picking up all the vehicles passing through it, and working with Seamus and the flock support, they were able to go into the camera remotely the next day and a half, and fix that issue without ever having to come out. They were able to fix it from the office there. So, yes, the support's there and it's working. Go ahead, Seamus. I'm sorry.
No, thank you, Chief. We always like to get a pat on the back sometimes. It helps. It's really nice because these cameras are out in the field. They deal with a lot of weather, especially in Nassau Bay, right? Like you all are prone to some pretty high winds, right? Hurricane weather sometimes. It's really important to know that we're going to be supporting you and making sure that if a camera breaks, we're going to replace that. Okay. Installation, ongoing maintenance, permitting, we take care of that. All this is city permits, right? We're not going on any DOT right-of-ways. Our friends at TxDOT, we obviously work really well with them, but we don't have to go through that, thank God. So we'll just be working with your department on city permits, and we do that all on behalf of you. Make sure I can just move along here. Now, this is where we've located some of these cameras, and I couldn't put the entirety of David Braun Park. I know that there's a whole lot more to the park here, but I wanted to show this camera because I believe that this was the area that some vandalism happened. Chief, was that earlier this year? Was that last year?
I'm sorry, what's that?
The vandalism at this part of the park, you had some new plants go in near Martinique and.
Yeah, that was about a year ago.
Yeah. So we put a camera here. This is going to be one of our solar-powered pan-tilt zooms. And I'm going to show you some live examples of these out in Georgia at night. I think it's important to see what they look like at night. And then we have 2 more solar-powered pan-tilt zooms covering the basketball court, the tennis courts. It obviously goes along the creek. These cameras are incredible. You'll see them tonight. To give you an idea of how far you can zoom in and how clear it is, we can read license plates between 800 to 1,000 feet away with these pan-tilt zoom cameras. I'll give you an example of that just after I finish up with these decks. We have another camera. This is a fixed camera covering the animal shelter as well. We put another solar fixed camera over Founders Park. Now, Howard Ward Park, what you'll notice is that exercise equipment, I think I would constitute that as, along Upper Bay Road. We have that covered with one of our solar-powered cameras. Then we have that little sitting area under those trees on the bottom right of your screen here, covered by that video camera as well, and then also covering the gazebo, and then the broader part of the park as well with those 3 cameras, okay? Swan Lagoon was an easy one for Chief and I. Just simply 1 camera, put it on a pole, solar-powered, no problem. It'll cover the entirety of the park. Now, what's really nice too is that the cone is more so an example. You can see past that cone, but that's just to kind of show you the directionality, but also how wide these cameras go, the field of view. Okay. I can get into kind of the pricing. I have that on the next slide. I guess I'll just pause for any questions on any of the locations that we put there. Anything about that at all? Great.
But this is only the parks, right? You're only looking at the parks?
All the parks.
None of the waterways?
None of the waterways. I worked with Chief on that, so if I could actually go back, so these cameras are strong enough where you're going to be able to see very clearly across that waterway. I didn't believe that was the goal of this project, per se. They do have the capability of zooming in all the way out there, right? They're very powerful cameras. I'll show you examples.
Anything on the cove and the by the finger piers for?
No, when Seamus and I first started working on this deployment project, that was before there was any discussion of the waterways. Yeah. Those can be added in, I mean, easily.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Any other questions here? Good. So for the pricing breakdown, the fixed cameras, they're $3,250, $3,250 per piece, total to 6 across the entirety of the deployment plan. Total price for those $19,500. The dual lens pan tilt zooms, again, I'm going to show you examples of these cameras so you know what I'm talking about here. The dual lens pan tilt zooms, they're $4,000 a piece. We did 3 of those, $12,000. Now the installation costs, and this includes the permitting, our poles that we're putting down, and us coming into the city and doing it. That's really all it takes. We're completely waiving it for you all. That means that the first year of flock, $31,500. The second and the third and the fourth, $31,500. But you'll notice on the bottom for the contract terms, we're just going to give you a 12-month contract because I think Chief and I spoke about this a lot. I think the priorities can change for you all, right? And we don't want because there are relocation fees in the middle of a contract. We want to be able to roll this out for the next 12 months and be able to come back to the table and say what worked, what didn't. Do we want to add some, remove some, give you all that flexibility rather than locking you in to a long.
Just help me here. So if there were 2 more cameras at the finger piers and in the, looking at the waterway for the cove, that would be $6,500 or $8,000 more than the $31,500? Or help me understand how that would work.
Yeah, so Chief and I haven't taken a look at those locations, I don't believe, Chief, unless I'm mistaken, but it would depend on kind of the area. We would kind of come to a determination on what type of camera would go there. But if we did 1 more pan tilt zoom, it would just be $4,000 more. If we did 1 more, fixed camera, $3,250 more.
So, no, say that again, please. It'd be how much more?
So, depending on which cameras we added, right? It would, if you did 1 or 2 more fixed live video cameras, you'll see the unit cost here. That's how much it is per camera, right? So if we
Per
did two
camera,
more-
so my assumption was correct.
Okay, yes, I just want to be abundantly clear. I believe your assumption was correct. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
And it depends on the cameras that we use, right? I haven't scoped out that area of the city yet, so it would just kind of depend on what would be needed there. For the contract length, I made this 12 months. We can make it as long as you want. I just thought it would be nice to have the city, give the city the opportunity to kind of come back and say, hey, we want to change some things around without necessarily locking you into that. In terms of, what you need to pay for on your own, I guess, for the installation, we do it end to end, okay? We're also trying to avoid, for the AC power stuff, we don't want you to have to go and dig trenches and connect all that. I know that, it's not very cost effective to do a lot of that. It also doesn't look great when that's all being done in the park. So being able to use the solar, the sun, the LTE, in our poles, us doing it the entire way, it should be pretty hands-off for you all. Any questions about this?
Yeah, Seamus, just for clarification, these are just solar power cameras, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, and we have them all over the state. Sorry, I don't think you were done talking. It cut out. I'm sorry.
No, just saying it's solar power only. And do y'all have any in parks with trees, just?
Do we have any in parks
Yes,
today?
in parks, yes, with trees?
Absolutely, all over the country. In Louisiana, the largest park in Louisiana, it's called Pelican Park. It's covered with our solar power cameras, and they have a lot of trees. But we check the solar of every single location. We don't just say, hey, we hope it works. We have a software that will allow us to determine that, and then we do a site survey too. So when we come out and do a site survey, we'll make sure that even when the trees are fully blooming in the middle of the summer, right, we're not going to have any problems with getting that sun. What other questions? You all want to see some cameras?
Yeah.
Live video?
I was just going to say, onward.
Let's do it. I just have to pull up I'm going to move this to another screen. So I think it's important to show this tonight because, or at this time of day, I should say, because, when some of these acts of vandalism take place, usually they're not broad daylight where there's a lot of people around, right? So we want to be able to say, hey, what can we see live, but also what is it going to look like when we go
So
back?
just so you know, we believe every single one has occurred at night, after 11 PM.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it usually goes, right? Someone's a little bored, can't sleep, wants to go out and do something. So there are two cameras here. I'm going to start with simply just the fixed camera, okay? This doesn't have any hardware zoom. This is just for almost situational awareness, if you will. Can you all see this kind of mart right here? Jim's Food Mart is actually called. By the way, we can't access the cameras that you all are going to put in. We have MOUs with a lot of agencies that allow us to access their cameras live at any point. I want to make that very clear. But this is the resolution of those fixed cameras. You're not able to zoom in with these other than digital zoom, something like that, right? That's not really, again, these are for that's why you see a lot of these in the Howard Ward Park, right? Because we're not going to be able to cover the entirety of the park with just one of these because we can't do the hardware zoom, and the resolution is not as good as the pan-tilt zooms, but because you want constant visibility on a couple of different areas in that park, it's a good view. You're just not going to be able to zoom in. Now, any questions about this camera before I go over to the fun one, the pan-tilt zoom? This is an incredible camera. So this is a dual lens. You'll notice on the bottom right of my screen, there is a wide view of fixed lens. This will stay wide and fixed at all points. So I want you to think about where I put it. I think it was David Braun Park, down by like the tennis courts, if you will. Let's say you're facing those towards the tennis courts or even towards the water. That fixed view on the bottom will always stay that wide. Now, what you can do is you can move this camera around, and I'm going to go find a place to zoom in over here just to show you the capabilities of this. I think I actually have a right-of-way all the way to the right, and you can go 360 degrees around. But this is at night, and you'll see the resolution gets a whole lot better, and I'm going to go into that parking lot. We can just move this out of the way. So I'm gonna move this up just so we can keep zooming in instead of going right into a bush, right? Oh, now I'm on a tree. This is live in the field. This is Dunwoody PD in Georgia. I think that's Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I've been through those drive-thrus before.
Can you get that license plate?
That license plate, that is, we are at the max, so that's probably about 2,500 feet away, or 2,300 feet away probably. There's a bush that's blocking that, so I can't make out that license plate right here. Let me zoom out and see if the resolution will fix it. It's always a little bit more difficult at night. First character is a C when the resolution fixed itself. Let's see when it pulls away, because there's a bush. You can almost see us trying to make out those characters. Will they stop for us? That bush is really giving us a hard time on reading those plates, unfortunately. But it's easy to read a plate, guaranteed, from between, oh, can we get this one actually? Between 800 and 1,000 feet away, very easily. And this one's all the way zoomed in almost, okay? And you can see, if you reference this screen at the bottom down here, where this camera is, we're zooming into the Chick-fil-A across that street, right? So this is a long way. This is a long way from where that camera's located. What's really nice about these cameras too. Any other questions before I go off the big zoom? I know it's easier to see when it's like this.
Keep going.
You can make out a person description pretty well, right?
Does it have facial recognition?
No, we will never do that. We will never do that. The reason that we won't do that is we lean more towards like the public safety aspect of things, and we don't keep any sort of people data in our platform, similar to the way that our LPRs work. Okay, like we can't tell you who's registered to a vehicle. We just pick up the plates. So we didn't dip into the AI. I know that there's some other vendors. I know Verkada does that as well. Their facial recognition stuff is insane. What
about vehicle recognition, like a certain color vehicle?
Oh yeah, we can tell you that it's a black Honda Civic, right? We have the capability to do free form. It's like free text, where you can say, find me a landscaping truck with a dent in the rear quarter panel on the right, and we'll find that vehicle for you. So we can do all of that. We just won't do the facial recognition stuff.
Seamus, real quick, we already have that ability with the LPR cameras.
Sorry, it's cutting out a little bit. Can you repeat that?
I'm just letting the council know that we already have that capability of identifying for vehicles with the LPR cameras in those photos and things. If we're looking for a certain make and a certain color.
I think I understood what you said. You were just asking about the vehicle fingerprint things. Did I understand that? It's cutting a little bit.
No, I was just telling them that we have that ability with the LPR cameras already.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We heard what he had to say, so it's okay.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a question for me. I'm sorry.
Hey, Seamus, I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just for clarification, so if we have a person that goes to the parks, vandalizes stuff, or say just follows, some of our walkers, can y'all, when you say facial recognition, can you say, like, say if it was just say me, and you go, okay, every time my face gets in any of the parks, will it be can that be alerted to PD, or can y'all track me, or can y'all?
We don't do any facial recognition. No, that's not something.
What about a license plate on a car? If you say it has been known to be, owned by somebody doing vandalism, will it tell you when it comes into the neighborhood or into the park or anywhere, any one of these cameras that are in the parks, or a boat for that matter?
So